time to float. You float down here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the greatest show. I'm your host, Dusty Smith. Gonna do sort of a casual show tonight. I canceled the show, and then I was like, I have to do the show tonight. I can't wait till Friday to get this information out there, especially after the mass shooting that happened in Allen, Texas yesterday, and the stochastic terrorism that the right is perpetrating in our society has to be called out immediately. Turns out, I know shockingly, the guy was a big fan of Tim Pool. And every single one of them doing what they do, trying to obfuscate, trying to pretend like this isn't another example of the right wing leading to mass murder. They're actually blaming trans people. I know that's shocking, so we have to cover that tonight. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I appreciate you guys for joining me on a low-key, depressing show. It's always depressing, and this episode is no different. So if you guys want to super chat me, you can super chat me. I read all the super chats at halftime. If you like what I do and you want to support the show and hear me read your message, super chat is a great way to do that. We're all in this together, though. So let's go ahead and get the show started. No religious bullshit tonight. I'm just going to start right off with Trash World. Trash World's not even about the Allen, Texas shooting. But let's go ahead and do that and get that out of the way. Trash World. It's Trash World. It's Trash World. It's a fucking dumpster fire, and it's hellish. It's a trash world. A trash world. You can't even go to fucking Walmart. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't go to the mall. You can't go fucking anywhere without worrying about getting mass murdered. It's Trash World, y'all. And oops, wrong button. See, it's a trash world that I hit the wrong button. That's how trash it is. Hit the wrong button again. It's all out of whack. It's all going to hell. Fucking Trash World. So starting us off tonight in Trash World, where we left on the last episode, Jordan Neely, homeless man whose mother was murdered, put in a suitcase. Definitely a troubled young man who was on a New York subway last week and tired and hungry, frustrated, broken, and had given up, yelling about how he was tired of not having anything. Tired of being hungry. And I guess he was making too much noise, so a Marine came up behind him and choked him to death. This guy. This is the big scary guy. There he is. The big terrifying guy on the subway that needs to be murdered for being too loud, I guess. And the guy that murdered him is now a hero. They've Kyle Rittenhouse this guy. On the right, because that's what they do. They take the worst among us and they put them on a pedestal. They tell us what heroes they are. It's almost like they're trying to mentally break us down with how horrible they are all the fucking time. It's just insanely gross. So of course, Babylon Bee, Elon Musk, his hand-picked satire organization, compared him to Hitler. Totally normal behavior to compare a homeless black man to Hitler. Yes, the Babylon Bee says Hitler exonerated after footage discovered of him moonwalking on subway. They just want to dehumanize this guy, make you think, oh, he's, you know, I know it's supposed to be satire. I get it. But the joke is, oh, he was basically had arrested 40 times, like a lot of homeless people are. They have mental problems, and, you know, the system is set up to arrest the poor. To harass the poor, to make your life even worse when you're poor. That's what capitalism has set up. Police are in place to protect the interest of the rich. So yeah. Hilarious. I guess I can't take a joke. I guess I'm just not in a laughing mood today. Talking about this poor homeless murder kid compared him to Hitler. And then apparently he got caught on video calling somebody a faggot, which, you know, is Not something I endorse. It's bad behavior. But it's not a capital offense. It's not something that I would want anybody, regardless of who they are, being murdered simply for calling somebody a faggot or saying the word faggot. Yeah, I'll play the video and then I'll play the right-wing narrative on this.
Angry Michael.
But like, I don't even know who he's talking to. I don't know about the context. Like, he doesn't like this guy's shirt or something.
But shirt, yeah, rainbow. Angry Michael.
So he too was caught up in this toxic masculinity, I guess, that makes you feel like when you're angry at somebody, you want to downplay their masculinity, playing the gay slurs. But like, I don't think he needs to be murdered for that. But yeah, the guy Shane Walter, this dude stood for everything you stand against. Yeah, why are you outraged that this guy was murdered? He said the word faggot because we don't think that's an executable offense. Even Tim Pool. So AOC comes out and says, I have yet to hear a real explanation from any official hesitating to condemn the killing of Jordan Neely about what makes condemning this violence so complicated. Killing is wrong, killing the poor is wrong, killing the mentally ill is wrong. Why is that so hard to say? To which Tim Pool says, dude was a homophobe who threatened a gay man and called him the F word. AOC is such an evil person. He's basically insinuated that the guy deserved to be killed and that AOC is the evil one for not wanting this poor homeless guy to be murdered. Then you hear AOC, he said the word faggot. Straight to execution, says the right's most popular influencer. This is who they are. And yeah, you want to execute anti-LGBT people on site now, Tim? There goes your audience. I would love to hear what's on your DMs, Tim Pool. And apparently, the guy that murdered Jordan, I guess, realized he was caught on camera. And now, I don't think he actually meant to kill Jordan. He just didn't give a shit. When you go choke somebody for 8 minutes, you are not worried about their life, right? I think after it happened, after he realized the guy was dead, he was like, oh shit, I just got caught on video murdering this guy. And so he tried to do what he could to look like he was sorry about it. Which I guess this video sort of shows after the fact. Yeah. Yeah. You murdered him. That's a dead man right there. He ain't gonna die. He is going to die. You killed him. So apparently he's a hero. He should be innocent because he beat the guy's legs up after he killed him. Ashley St. Clair, hey OC, what cold-blooded killer sticks around to make sure the victim is okay? Lots of cold-blooded killers return to the scene of the accident. They'll ask the cops if they can help and shit. They behave in all kinds of psychotic ways, especially if they know they've been caught on camera doing it. Just ridiculous. What kind of fucking logic is this? And speaking of the trash world, you fucking assholes worried about Mexicans taking your jobs. Well, it ain't. It's your kids. They're gonna replace you with your own children. These photos show children working in a Nebraska slaughterhouse. Their faces obscured. The Labor Department found more than 100 children were working in dangerous conditions, some reporting chemical burns. Asking too much money, you want $15 an hour? How are they going to pay $300 million of bonuses to the CEO if we give you $50 an hour? If you give you all $15 an hour, we might only get $200 million worth of bonuses. So, what your kids doing? And you stupid motherfuckers, you'll vote for them. You'll keep voting for the Republicans that are pulling back the child labor laws, the ones that will replace you. You keep fucking voting for them. Let them scare you about Mexican folks. Some of you motherfuckers are just too stupid to live. And then in this trash world, apparently, there's another mass murder that happened this week. in Texas. Not the same one we're going to talk about, not the Allen, Texas shooting. 8 killed after a car plows into 18 pedestrians in Brownville, Texas, most of them like migrants. I don't think this is a racial crime. I'm not sure. This guy, I think, was probably drunk. That's the gist I get out of it. Of course, I don't know yet. We don't know what his motive was, but it looks like he was out of the car drunk as shit. So another horrible fucking story. But a bunch of people just came to this country looking for a better life and weren't here long before getting mowed over. Here he is. Driving through. Smashed right into all of them. Like I said, I don't know if it was on purpose or not. I guess we'll find out. I'll report it when it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really low energy today. It's not that necessarily low energy. It's just that I don't feel like putting on the circus voice and talking about mass shooters. Like I didn't want to get on here today and talk about mass shooters, but like, got to be covered, right? We got to cover this shit. We got to call out the stochastic terrorism. We got to put the spotlight on it. So, Allen, Texas, another weekend, another mass shooting. Guy walking down the street just murdering everybody.
The door open, and I was letting like the customers come inside the store. He pretty much was walking down the sidewalk and he was just like blazing for the most part and just shooting his gun.
Inside or outside?
Outside the store. He was walking down the sidewalk towards Fatburger, and he was just shooting his gun everywhere for the most part.
So you're hearing their witnesses describing what they say is the shooter.
The door open,
Yep.
and I was letting like the customers like come.
It's like a video game to these guys now. He's even going to talk about how his life is like a video game. And yep, all the weapons legally purchased.
Now, Jake, some new information just in on the weapons that this suspect owned, including that AR-15 style rifle used in this attack. I just got off with a law enforcement source who tells me that of the multiple weapons that were recovered that were owned by that suspect, all of them were purchased legally. Most of them were via private sellers, which means that they didn't go through a federal background check. That is legal here in Texas, obviously. If you buy from a private individual, you don't have to go through that federal system, but that's something we continue to hear from gun safety advocates ridiculing the so-called private seller loophole. It appears in this case that most of the weapons used that the shooter owned were indeed from a private seller, all of them owned legally, Jake.
Private seller loophole,
Yep.
We've been talking about it since...
Yep, they don't give a shit. Even if we had red flag gun laws, the cops have already said they're not going to enforce them. They want these loopholes. They want everybody to have a gun. They want us to die. They don't care. And so right after the shooting, it was reported that he was wearing an RWDS patch on the Kevlar vest he was wearing. He's in tactical gear, of course. Planning this stuff out for months. Like I said, like it's a video game. RWDS stands for Right Wing Death Squad. It's one of the patches that's often worn on the vest of the Proud Boys. Here's a Jeremy Bertino, one of the Proud Boys, who just pled guilty to seditious conspiracy. You know, traitor. Convicted of being a literal traitor to the United States. Wearing the same patch that this mass murderer was wearing. Murdered children. Just walked up, murdered parents, children, everybody. AR-15 blows the body apart. The guy said he walked up to help the little girl. He rolled her over and her face was missing. It's every week. It's every fucking week. So it was reported that he probably had ties to white supremacy. He's wearing a right-wing death squad patch on. Yeah, he's Latino, I guess. But he's going to explain to him himself why he decided to lean towards white supremacy. And I'll explain it when I'm reading his words to you. But yeah, it's not uncommon. There are Latino white supremacists who have swastikas on their faces, tattooed. Shit happens all the time. Hell, Nick Fuentes, leader of a white supremacy movement. Fuentes, the Proud Boys leader, they just got convicted of sedition. Latinx. Hell, during World War II, there were Jewish sympathizers who worked for the Nazis. This happens all the time. But of course, the right-wing blogosphere went out there to spin it immediately that this guy could not possibly have been a white supremacist. He was Latino or Mexican or something. You can't be a white supremacist if you're a Mexican or Latino. No, that's not true. Jesse Lee Peterson. And of course, one of the first people to throw this lie out there was Marjorie Taylor Greene. And the first thing she did was go out there and try to blame illegal aliens, illegal immigrants. And I don't like that word. I don't like to call people illegal. I'm just using the words that she uses. I don't think people are illegal, right? I know immigrants come over this country for the same reason, whether they come here through the right channels or not. They come over here to try to work and make a better life for themselves and their family. They come over to try to live the American dream. But that's the first thing that they want you to think of, because they want to scapegoat those people, right? They want to pit us against each other in this culture war, pit the poor against each other. And poor Mexican immigrants, you can't get any poorer than that. As long as we're busy being afraid of them, blaming them, pointing fingers at them, we're not ever going to come after people like Elon fucking Musk, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So here she is, posting the picture of the guy's dead body. I'm sorry if you guys haven't seen this. You might want to look away for a second. But she says 9 people were murdered yesterday in Allen by this man who appears Hispanic with what looks like a gang tattoo on his hand. So yeah, he's just another Mexican gangbanger, is the image she's trying to put in her followers' head. The shooting occurred at a gun-free zone outlet mall. Title 42 ends on Thursday, and CBP says 700,000 migrants are going to rush the border. So literally all she's trying to do is put in your head, see, this guy went to a mall and he mass murdered a bunch of people. He's an illegal probably. He's a Mexican. This is going to happen to all of us because of Joe Biden. Joe Biden is responsible for this, not white supremacy, not stochastic terrorism, not the exact fear-mongering that Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene does every single day. No, it's the Mexicans that are the problem here, folks. That's who you should really be afraid of. She wasn't the only one out there. Here's Keith Olbermann reposting the Washington Post. Well, actually, first he's responding to Isabella O'Reilly Moody, who is another right-wing influencer, host of Moody with Isabella and 104,000 subscribers, who says, Texas is fucked. The Allen, Texas shooting was 50 minutes away from me, and the shooter was a Hispanic gang member, likely tied to the cartel. No evidence of this in any way. She's just literally making all of this shit up based almost exclusively on Marjorie Taylor Greene's Twitter post. Now another Hispanic man took an SUV and killed over 7 people in Brownsville, Texas. Biden's border is killing people. Once again, don't think about the guns. Don't think about the AR-15s. Don't think about this happening every single week. Don't think about the fact this guy was a self-admitted white supremacist. Now it's Mexicans we got to worry about. And of course, Keith Olbermann responded, Dear fuckhead, the mass murderer was like you, a white supremacist lunatic, which he was. And of course, she doubled down on it. Dear fucking retard, she says. Why would a Mexican be a white supremacist? Why would Jesse Lee Peterson be a white supremacist? Why would Nick Fuentes? You fake news shill. Maybe you should focus on getting your ratings up before you call a pregnant woman a fuckhead on Twitter, bitch. Got 53,000 likes for lying. For lying, for putting out fake information. For calling somebody a fuckhead who's telling the truth. Yeah. Mary King, another popular douchebag. The Allen, Texas mass shooter's name has been released. While MSM is fervently trying to tie this incident to white supremacy, I just want to say, there has never in the history of racism been a Klan member or a neo-Nazi with a name either remotely close to Mauricio Garcia. Nick Fuentes, what are you talking about? Leader of a white supremacy movement. The dude who was the leader of the Proud Boys is Latin. We know this fucking happens. So they're doing everything they can to pretend like this guy's not a white supremacist, to blame illegal aliens. Steven Crowder got out there immediately. Because Steven Crowder, deep in his heart, knows this guy was a fan of his. He knows the blowback is coming, so he's trying to do damage control immediately. He's trying to muddy the waters. So after it was reported the guy was wearing a right-wing death squad patch, here's what Steven Crowder said about it.
We have not been able to find them yet. We have been able to find official statements from the police chief saying we do not have a motive. That doesn't stop CNN from saying right-wing death squad, which, by the way, someone could also put that on there to troll, like we saw what happened, remember, with Christchurch. Yeah. This happened where he said, I was inspired by Candace Owens and by Ben Shapiro to shoot up.
I mean, he was, but he just made a joke about it to cover it up. That's what they do. They hide behind humor.
I believe, was it a church or was it a synagogue? I believe in Christchurch. I think it was a synagogue, yeah. Synagogue, it's tough to keep track. So this is important because the truth does matter here.
No, the truth does not matter to you at all. Now that it has been reported that he was a white supremacist, all that, are you going to admit to it, own up to it, that he's probably a fan of yours, that you guys are heavily involved in this stochastic terrorism? You guys know exactly what you're doing, pushing this white supremacy, pushing all these right-wing talking points. You know exactly what it's going to lead to. You know what's going to happen because it happens over and over and over and over again. Do you really care about honesty? No, of course they don't. Yeah, Enrique Tarrio, that's the Proud Boys leader who got arrested and convicted of sedition. And of course, Elon Musk has gone full right-wing racist this week to an insane degree. And so he was out there trying to muddy the waters and claim anybody calling this guy a white supremacist was somehow part of the mainstream media misinfo campaign. First, he's posting on this guy, media, the Texas mass shooter might be a white supremacist with neo-Nazi beliefs. Reality, hey, he was a Mexican, he was a Mexican, he was a Mexican. So Elon Musk, one of the most powerful people in the world, do they cite any evidence for him being a Nazi white supremacist? Yes. He literally had swastikas tattooed on his fucking chest, Elon Musk. I'm going to read you his own words. Yes, they did. But Elon Musk is always trying to keep the culture war going. He wants us to fight a culture war so we don't fight a class war. Then the Washington Post correctly reported, gunman in Texas mall shooting may have had neo-Nazi beliefs. Which we absolutely do know that he did. We have his words now. To which Elon says, this platform is hell-bent on being the least untrue source of information. And without a hint of irony whatsoever, he's not talking about Twitter. He's talking about the Washington Post. He's claiming the Washington Post is hell-bent on being the least untrue source of information when they're reporting the truth, and he is the one posting the lies. Because he wants to keep us at each other's throat, folks. There's nothing more patriotic, more anti-establishment than you could do than go after the rich. And they do not want that. Anything to keep us at each other's throats. And here he is. Yeah, this is his torso. SS stickers. Swastika. Texas. Because that's the things that were important to him. Texas. Nazism. Shit just goes fucking hand in hand. You want to know why all these right-wing douchebags keep fucking moving to Texas? You want to know why Joe Rogan went? It's where their people are. They're drawn there. Same reason my brother went to fucking Florida. He was drawn to the other fucking douchebags exactly like he is. Here's some photos from his social media account on OKRU. I guess he had the social media account on this RU site because it's one of those sites that lets you post anything, doesn't have very much content moderation whatsoever. Starting to look kind of Nazi-ish to me. Bunch of Mexican people in Nazi gear. How possibly could somebody of Latin descent be a Nazi? Impossible, right? Dallas, Fort Worth, Nazi symbols. Yep, that's what was important. There's his tactical vest. He was right where he felt like he belonged. There he is. Right-wing death squad with the Punisher. Same shit the cops wear. The same fucking message. Fascism now, fascism tomorrow, fascism forever. I don't care if he's fucking Mexican or of Latin descent. Doesn't give a shit. He wants to be a pick-me. He picked his side. Thinks they'll accept him, and they will for a time. Until ultimately they get what they want and take over, and then he goes in the oven just like everybody else. But he ain't smart enough to understand that. I mean, he's dead now, of course, but wasn't when he was alive smart to understand any of this. And so now I'm going to read you some of his words. Like, I usually don't like casting a lot of spotlight on the words of mass killers, but I'm not even really going to pay attention to his name. No one's going to remember his name a week from now. I've already forgot it. No one's going to give a shit about him. But when these people tell you why they're doing this, it is important to study it and listen and understand what is happening here, because it's exactly what I've been warning of for years. This is why I started this whole show. So instead of having to just talk about one topic, I could talk about all this stuff. I could lay it out step by step. This stochastic terrorism, it's toxic troll culture. The communities on 4chan who inspire this type of thing, where they go and get radicalized, where being the worst person you can possibly be is how you win. Usually they just use words. Most of them just use words. They use the N-word every 5 seconds and disparage trans people, gay people. But there's a way you can be worse than that. You can resort to violence. That's how you really become the hero to this community. And they are more than willing to give their lives to do it. These fucking losers. They're obviously so unlikable. They hate themselves and they hate everybody else, and they have nothing to live for. And they encourage each other to be this way. So let's read. First off, apparently, this is from his, not a secret, it wasn't a secret account, but his side account. He was a Psychovision 5. This post was inspired by Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok, that's the right-wing account that does nothing but dox trans people, that puts out one-sided disinformation about trans people in order to spread trans panic and fear, which we know has led to violence against trans people. One of these accounts that was specifically reinstated by Elon Musk, that Elon Musk continuously signal boosts for, that Elon Musk literally sponsors with his own money. Second richest man in the world, the most popular man in the world, owner of Twitter. This is what he's causing. This post was inspired by Libs of TikTok. I had this teacher who was supposed to be a chemistry teacher, but she used the class to promote Jew, my diversity hippie bullshit. I was just starting to go right wing. She would always say some politically correct crap like, we all bleed red and there's only one race, the human race. Yeah, horrible stuff, huh? I didn't know what to say at the time. I know what I would say now. Animals bleed red, but they're not considered human. If there's only one race, the human race, how is it possible for anyone to be a racist? Because racism is learned, dude. Racism is taught. Racism comes from insecurity. Wanted to believe so badly that you are better than your fellow man, that you will find anything in order to separate you from him. I was sick of hearing her bullshit. One day, just for fun, I did the Roman salute. Nazi salute is what he's talking about. She got butthurt as hell. Yeah, you were doing Nazism in her classroom. I doubt she liked that very much. Gotcha. She said, don't even get me started on that evil man. I'm getting you started. I did it a couple more times. She said if I do it again, I was going to detention. Thank God I'm not in Germany, where the punishment would have been a lot harsher. Yeah, thank God you're not in Germany, where you might be in jail instead of murdered a bunch of children and other people. Where the punishment would have been a lot harsher. Like a week later, as I was walking into class, PC teacher says, hi, how are you? I said, final solution. Just like that, I ruined her good mood. She went off on me. How dare you be a Hitler supporter? He would cheerfully kill you. Your non-blonde hair, no blue eyes having behind. You're not even white. Well, he did get Germany out of economic recession, misspelled. He was the Führer and Chancellor of the Reich. He was one of history's most powerful men. What's not to like? I guess he thinks he's one of the good ones that they'll spare, that they'll use. And this is 100% nothing but just 4chan troll culture. This is where they learn that. The only thing they care about is hurting people, triggering people. Are you upset? Are you upset? Ha ha ha. It's so hilarious and knowing that they're going to get rewarded by the other scumbags for being a scumbag. Next post. I was in ROTC and I was wearing my Class B uniform. As I was leaving, I said, "How?" She said that I'm wearing a uniform that stands for diversity, equality, and justice for all, and that I should be ashamed for having those beliefs and wearing the uniform. Awesome. Because all he cares about was hurting people. She is sharp as a tack, but all those smarts came at the expense of her common sense. I was in the hallway and I dropped my shit. I was picking my stuff up and PC teacher saw me. She said, "Are you all right?" I just said, "White power." She then said, "I would not be saying that if I was Hispanic." She's trying to help you. She's trying to reach out to you the best way she can. And all you can think about is, I just want to hurt her. I want to hurt her like I feel like the world has hurt me. Hey man, she brought all this fucking BS on herself. If she would have just stuck to teaching chemistry, I never would have said shit. I felt like a champion. Oh, you're a big champion, dude. She couldn't shame me or convince me to think like her. And the most fucked up part is, despite all her visual signaling and shilling, Miss White Guilt still got called a racist. Aha. Who gives a shit? I've been called a racist a lot of times. You think I'm going to stop fighting for equality and civil rights? You think I'm going to abandon everything I believe? All my morals, all my integrity? Because someone called me a name I don't like? It's not how any of this works. Drop the PC shit and I'll stop a lot of the stuff going on in fucking clown world. That's 100% 4chan bullshit. You better believe there wouldn't be, well, convert your children, drag queen story hour losers running around loose, no-zog communists or liberal fake news media under Hitler's watch. How Hitler? Same trans panic, same drag queen story hour, same fear that people like Tim Pool, Libs of TikTok, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Steven Crowder, all of them. They push this shit all day long. And yes, the vast majority of people listening to them, it might affect their vote, which is bad enough. But you're going to reach the fringes, and this is what's going to happen. It's stochastic terrorism. And then they're going to deny it happens. They're going to try to blame trans people or illegal aliens. Here's a whole big thread about his Nazi post. YouTube account Dusty Shackelford. Awesome name. Don't use my name, motherfucker. Got shit on already. This guy went out and found all kinds of posts from him. Here's one that he left on an article about how mass shootings have gamified, which is a topic that I think he was really interested in, the gamifying of mass murder. They stop thinking about people like human beings and they start thinking of people like NPCs, which is exactly what they call us, in order to dehumanize us, to make it easier to kill us and mistreat us and hurt us. He said on this post, "Rip to all victims and my condolences. Real men don't murder innocent victims, blah, blah, blah. Just because the shooter is trans doesn't mean trans lives don't matter, blah, blah." And then his response to all these comments. No, 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 no. Fuck all of this noise. It's all so empty, fake, and boring. Every school shooting to me is the perfect time to be a completely horrible person and see this event like a sport or a comedy. The most important thing about a school shooting is to know the race of the person who did it, the kill count, and then compare their accomplishments of murder to all those who came before. This is the 4chan mentality. You get on there and you read it and they just encourage each other. These people are heroes. This guy now is a hero. He died knowing he will be a hero to these other bottom feeders that he looks up to. And also learn intricately the life of the killer, so memes can be made, because let's face it, killing people in an interesting way is an art that earns a lot of respect just inherently. He's right. This is what they do. They take pictures of these people, they make memes lionizing them, heroing them. And it inspires them to go out and do it. It inspires them to try to outdo each other and kill more and more people. This is not a fucking game. It's every single week now. The tenuousness of life forces it to be this way. And to play into the moral banality of it as normies do is kind of gay to me. Normies. It's just so pathetic. It's incel bullshit. It's funny how pomp and circumstance to murder reaction has become this forced solemn church moment we are all forced to affect around in public in order to feel normal. When the reality is, I just don't know a lot of people are just like me and want to revel in the schadenfreude. The media fucking proves it. They will never miss an opportunity to cover the event. I mean, he's right. I'm doing it right now. And cater the coverage exactly for sick fucks like me. I'm not catering to sick fucks like you. I'm hoping I might reach somebody. I'm hoping I might reach some of these disaffected young men on 4chan who are wrapped up in this toxic troll culture, who believe that this is hilarious, who believes it's all jokes, bro, who believes it's fucking harmless, who believes getting on 4chan and posting memes, showing other mass killers as heroes, as cheering them on, believes it's harmless. It's not fucking harmless. You're a coward. Yeah, you're sitting behind your goddamn keyboard doing it. You're not showing your face. You're not using your real name. But it's not fucking harmless. There are people who are way more sick, way more disturbed than you are that this stuff affects. And if they were only killing themselves, then that'd be bad. But it wouldn't be what it is now. It's children. Mothers, fathers, just innocent folks. Caught up in this fucking online stupidity. For what? For what? What? So you can be a bad person online? So you can be a piece of shit for jokes? For laughs? I mean, I know that you people distance yourself from this world and you don't even see other people as human beings anymore, but is there anything we can say, anything we can do that would bring you back? Because we're real. We're real like you. These children were real. Because the heart of the matter is, we all know it's just a fucking spectacle at this point. And the spectacle and the killer are far more interesting than the boring fucks who were killed. And he is right. I mean, sort of. The more people will know his name than the people that are murdered, right? Than the children he killed. There is always humor in darkness. So the Nashville shooting was particularly interesting because a bitch broke the ER barrier with a decent kill scores. That's how they look at it. That's how they talk about it on 4chan. Not just 4chan, but that's one of the main places. But this kind of mentality, the toxic troll culture, this is what Twitter has become. This is what Elon Musk has purposely turned Twitter into. And this is just the fucking start of it. They're just fucking getting started, y'all. For the first time, with a decent kill score for the first time. This is like the greatest accomplishment of feminism ever. For a Foyd, even though a tranny, but still a vagina haver, to feel so empowered that they could take it upon themselves to pick themselves by the bootstraps, get their gear in order, and successfully go ER is a moment Valerie Salonis would be proud of. Only feminism could have taken biological women to the logical extreme of embodying the highest pinnacles of toxic masculinity. He looked up to the other killers, right? That's what they all do. They're going to tell you, it's just a joke, man. You don't have a sense of humor. It's a joke. Okay. I'm a joke to the loved ones of these kids that got murdered. Not a joke. Not a joke to me. It's not a joke. And yeah, of course, he was a fucking Tim Pool fan. The number one right-wing influencer in the world. Of course he was. This is what Tim Pool does. He just sits out there all day and he puts out this misinformation. This anti-white narrative, these white supremacy talking points. And yes, even a guy who might have Latin descent is very susceptible to this kind of brainwashing, as many people are. Let's look at this thread again. delve into it some more. Oh yeah, so you wonder how like a Latin man could be a white supremacist. Here's his own post. It's a meme of a road branching off in two directions. One direction is act black towards a castle. The other direction is become white supremacist. In the middle, Latino children. To which he responds, it's funny because it's true. I think I'll take my chances with the white supremacist. They're so racist that they would rather join the racist than to align with those of us who support civil rights and minorities. And they think it's cool. That's another thing. See, like, how can a Latino, how can you join a white supremacy movement? It's because on 4chan, this is what's cool. They are fucking losers. They're so goddamn pathetic. They want to be liked so badly. They want to belong to something so badly. Doesn't matter what it is. Anybody who will accept them, and they're awful people. So who is going to accept me for being an awful people? Where they found a family. They found a home with other people who will embrace them, who will love them for being garbage, for being trash, for being the lowest of the low. It doesn't matter to them who they are, as long as they're accepted. I mean, he's obviously on his way out anyway, not expecting to live too long. If he can go out a hero in these people's eyes, that's worth it to him. Just pictures of him with a bunch of ammos and shit. And of course, he was a total fucking incel. They embrace this incel ideology, and they really believe that because they're such horrible fucking people, and no woman wants to be around them, no woman wants to have anything to do with them, they have no ability to do introspection and to think, hey, is it me? Am I doing something to make these women not want to be around me? Am I doing something to make people hate me? No. It's the women who are at fault. These fucking bitches who are at fault. They are the problem, not me. And all it does is make them hate even more than they already do. Here's his own words. A review of psychological evidence concludes that men are shaped by evolution to be aggressive towards outsiders. From the mighty clash of two stags running to the dawn raid of a chimpanzee, much violence in nature is perpetrated by males fighting each other in competition for female mates. A new study claims it's a similar story with humans. Cultural differences, limited resources, and technological developments all play a role. But a team of psychologists based in China and Hong Kong believe the ultimate cause of human war rests with the male libido. Historically, they argue that the lure of an attractive female primed the male brain for conflict with other males, an effect that persists in modern man, even though its usefulness is largely outdated. Yeah, I mean, evolution has programmed us in certain ways, but we are not slaves to our evolutionary programming, right? Like, rape has been a good evolutionary strategy to pass your genetics on. If you can impregnate a woman without having to invest your time and resources in raising those children, and she'll do it, and you can go on and impregnate other people, then the chances of you spreading your genes onto the next generation are increased because you've had multiple children without having to put out very much resources in the raising of those children. But we've overcome that evolutionary programming because we're human beings and we're able to do that. The reason men chase resources is because of what resources attract women. If men cannot be creators of society, they will be destroyers of society. Now it's up to society which role they want us to follow. In these modern times, the social contract is no longer functioning, expecting men not to regress or go back to the days of rape and violence when the contract is no longer being enforced and or adhered to is what is truly outrageous. And not the acts themselves. Yeah, it's not outrageous to rape and kill people. It's outrageous to expect you not to do it, to have some kind of self-control, to be a human being. Men aren't entitled to sex, ? True, I agree, but women aren't entitled to safety either. The violent response of men today are retaliatory. There's no real motivation to bother trying. to be a hard worker, to be civilized, when your reward at the end of the day is to get married to used goods who is likely only selling for you because she's aged past her prime and has a ton of baggage. This is just incel philosophy. This is what they're fed all day long. A hopeless existence where the thing they want the most, women, is something they can never have. And it's not them. They don't have to change. They don't have to improve themselves. They don't have to work hard. No, working hard, improve yourself won't make any difference. It's society at fault. Eternal fucking victims, and this loser mentality is exactly why no woman wants you. It's exactly why you can't get anybody. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The further you go down this path, the less likely you are to get a mate. As cold as a glacier in Russia in the dead of winter. Conclusion: everyone who tells us variation of sex is not a big deal needs to die, be forced into lifelong celibacy, no exceptions. Disenfranchised males equal self-destructive males. I don't care about getting a girlfriend anymore. I still want sex, just not a girlfriend, because I don't believe anymore women are capable to genuinely love a man. I'm sure that no one's capable of loving you because you don't love yourself. How can you be loved by somebody if you don't have love in your heart for yourself? Why would anybody think you're shit if you don't think you're shit, man? What is overtly normal and what is covertly normal are two very different things. For example, in public, normies will say that banging a family member is nasty. But in private, porn website data show that people are extremely interested in faux sex themed content. If God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him. Be fruitful and multiply. Sounds like Elon Musk. They have been overprotective growth stunters, control freak tyrants, prudes who blue-balled me at every turn, narcissistic abusers, and because they know it will get a rise out of me, they even annoy me just for the fun of it. Talking about women. Isn't that what you do to people? That's what you're doing to your teacher. Just trying to get a rise out of her. I'm sure these women weren't doing that to you. You have a guilty conscience. You see people treating you how you treat other people. But like I said, it's just stochastic terrorism. It's one of many, many, many people who have followed on this path. And I've been talking about it for years and fucking years and fucking years. And I don't see any end in sight. I see it getting worse. I see Twitter spreading this ideology, creating more of these self-destructed, self-loathing people. And of course, the first thing Timcast did when it was revealed that this guy was a giant fan of his is to try to gaslight, to go public and claim that this account is a fake account. Sure, somebody just went and created this account and a whole bunch of information from months and months with all this guy's info and everything to make you look bad, Tim. Just did it in an instant, right? Tim Pool says, I'm assuming they posted the fake Russian profile in response to the fact that a trans person shot kids and they are terrified. This is how loathsome Tim Pool is. Guy was a giant fan of his. The same rhetoric Tim Pool spreads, the same audience he cultivates. Responsible, at least partially, for this stochastic terrorism. But instead of taking any responsibility whatsoever, gaslights, claims it's fake, and then changes the subject to trans people. Doesn't want you to think about the gun control debate. Doesn't want you to think about white supremacy. Doesn't want you to think about these 4chan toxic trolls, this incel culture. No. Trans people. Immediately scapegoating trans people for something that he bears some responsibility for. Tens of millions of dollars a year. Why wouldn't he? If you didn't have a soul, if you didn't have any integrity, why wouldn't you do it? Temple hero to this mass murderer for good reason. The kind of garbage that would do something like this, that would gaslight, not take any responsibility, and then throw trans people, with the most vulnerable classes in our whole society, throw them under the bus to keep take responsibility. That's exactly the type of person a toxic troll, mask murderer, incel would look up to. Sure, boy, Tim. Then the response from the right, exactly what you expect. Here's Megyn Kelly. Serious question for gun control advocates. You failed to effect change. Please face it. You can't do it. Thanks to the Second Amendment, we're all well aware you don't like that fact. But fact is, what's next? Must we just stay here sad, concerned, lamenting? Could we possibly talk other solutions? Yeah, you've lost. It doesn't matter how many children, parents, innocent people die. It doesn't matter. You can't leave your house to do anything anymore. You lost. The gun is our religion. It's never changing. We don't care. We're never going to do any kind of meaningful gun laws at all, regardless of how many of you die. So can we just stop talking about it? Will you guys accept defeat? Because we don't give a shit about your children. 100% what she's saying. And so, yeah, Bizzle says, fuck off. There were 3 mass shootings today, almost 200 since January. To Megyn Kelly, also one of these right-wing influencers who gets paid millions of dollars to say shit like this. She says, no, you fuck off. I'm sick and tired of nothing changing after mass shootings. She's not that sick and tired of it. She's not trying to change anything. Comprehensive gun reform is one of the main things. The second league would be, obviously, we need more mental health care, but see, 100% what right-wingers vote against every single time. It's what every politician they put in office defunds. They've never tried to do that, so it's just bullshit. They don't care. Because we get mired every time in the damn gun debate. You have lost. It's done. For the love of God, what else can be done? You are ruining any chance at change by not admitting that the gun debate is lost. Yep. By not admitting that it doesn't matter how many kids, parents, innocent people die, and try to do anything else. It's our fault, folks. Not their fault. Not their fault they don't give a shit if people die. Not their fault that they don't care about the children. It's our fault. We're not accepting the fact that they're just incredibly horrible fucking people, and no matter how many people die, they're never going to change. The fact that we won't accept their horribleness makes us bad somehow. That's the level we're dealing with here. And of course, the Christian politicians doing the same goddamn thing every time. It's Groundhog Day for fucking ever. This is literally the representative, the people of Allen, Texas, elected to represent them. This is the person you put in office. Dude could not give 2 fucking shits about your goddamn lives, you morons. If it was just you, but it's your children. Here he is. We need more prayer. Nothing to be done, just pray.
Now, you know, Congressman, that is a common refrain after these incidents, after mass shootings, but many people argue that prayers aren't cutting it. Prayers are not preventing the next mass shooting. What is your response to that criticism?
Well, those are people that don't believe in an almighty God who is absolutely in control of.
That's right. He's in control, folks. God did this. God killed your kids. God killed the innocent people there. God made it to where you can't go to the mall or Walmart or church or fucking anywhere. God is responsible for the 3 mass shootings every goddamn week. Well, if that's the truth, fuck your God, dude. Fuck this monster you are worshiping. Fuck everybody in Allen, Texas who elected this guy.
Our lives. I'm a Christian. I believe that he is. We have people, though, with mental health that we're not taking care of. Since this nation made the decision that we were going to close the mental health institutions.
Who did that? Who made those decisions? Ronald Reagan, conservatives, your side's continuously doing it. And fucking where I live, folks, they have shut down the majority of the rural hospitals. There's not even hospitals here anymore for anything. Because our Republican governor has decided that he doesn't want to take federal money to help the poor. I guess they're tired of getting shit on for the fact that conservative states are the welfare queens, are the ones that always take all the money. So instead, they've just decided not to take it, just to let the poor fucking die. There's no money to get help if you get fucking cancer, much less if you have mental health issues in this goddamn state. What are you guys talking about?
Many of these situations are based on that. And the people that say, and I would like to stay away from the politics today because I want to focus on the victims.
Sure he does. He wants to focus. They always say the same thing. Hey, this is not the time to talk about guns. This is not time to talk about guns. This is not time about. It's never time because there's like 3 gun shootings every fucking week. So it's never time. It's never time. It's not political. I mean, even though politics is the only fucking thing that can do anything about this, it's never fucking political. Don't ask them to do fucking shit. Just keep praying, monkeys. Keep goddamn praying.
Today, we should be focused on the families. Prayer is powerful in the lives of those people that are devastated. I know people want to make this political.
It is political.
Prayers are important.
They're not.
And they are powerful.
Prayer is the way for people to do nothing and then convince themselves they've done something. Prayer is the fucking problem. Other than guns, prayer is a giant goddamn part of the problem. A way to absolve yourself of all of the guilt of not doing shit, of not making any fucking changes. You just pray and then it's like it never fucking happened. But no, it happened. Nothing goddamn fails like prayer, motherfucker.
And the families who are devastated right now.
Dude could not give a shit less about the families. Next week it'll be more families he won't give a shit about. Next week, never ending. And somebody made a chatbot to post randomly generated chat messages. I set up a bot that does nothing but generate fake messages of sympathy after mass shootings. Its tweets are indecipherable from GOP politicians. Ted Cruz put out the tweet, same tweet he always puts out. Heidi and I are praying for the families of the victims of the horrific mall shooting in Allen, Texas. We pray also for the broader Collin County community that's in shock from this tragedy. The AI chatbot says, we are heartbroken to hear the tragedy that occurred in Allen, Texas. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those affected by this terrible incident and their families. It's just copy and fucking paste. And you motherfuckers in Texas, you know you're going to still elect Ted Cruz as your guided representative. You know you are. So let's just stop bullshit. Let's just stop bullshit. All of you conservatives, you just don't care. Just admit it. Admit that you don't care. Just admit it. Let's quit with this fucking bullshit, this fakeness. Why are we doing it? Nobody believes it. You don't believe it. We don't believe it. Just stop, okay? I accept it, Macon Kelly. You're too much of a horrible person to ever fucking change, no matter how many kids die. I accept it. Just quit pretending like you give a shit. Of course, the governor, Governor Greg Abbott. This you guys put back in office. Could have had Beto, could have had change, could have had something decent, could have done something about all these killings, but instead you put this motherfucker back in office. Directly confronted with the fact that politically, comprehensive common sense gun reform is incredibly popular. Still, guns are his religion. Still, changes the subject, distracts, goes with the tried and true tired ass. We need more mental health in this country. Watch.
Just out from Fox News, when you ask people what they would favor, background checks for guns, enforcing existing gun laws, legal age to 21, requiring mental health checks, flagging people for danger to self, all of those score at more than 80%. Are there things that you would consider in Texas or that you think Congress should consider at a federal level along those lines?
Well, on the federal level, as you know, some laws were passed last year to begin to address this. At the state level, listen, this is something that we've been grappling with over the past year. And there are some potential easy solutions, such as passing laws that we're working on right now to get guns out of the hands of dangerous criminals and to increase penalties.
Yeah, that's not what we need. We need to have laws where both crazy people, but not just the common public, can just walk in and get these AR-15s legally. And you know you have no plans to stop that. all this is going to do is accelerate it.
For criminals who possess guns. But Shannon, we need to recognize a reality. What we've seen across the United States over the past year or two, and that is an increased number of shootings in both red states and blue states.
Mostly red states.
Shannon, we've seen an increased number of shootings in states with easy gun laws as well as states with very strict gun laws.
Yeah, but if you have really easy gun laws and you have really strict gun laws in the state over, it's really easy just to go to a state that doesn't have tough gun laws and pick up a gun and take it back to your state. So it doesn't do any good unless we have like a federal thing, right? Because it's not like it's hard to go to the next state over. We're all just one big country. It's not really much of a difference at all. So all this is just bullshit talking points to throw people off.
I think that the state in which the largest number of victims have occurred this year is in California, where they have very tough gun laws, where 11 people died. And so one thing that we can observe very easily. And
gun laws don't work is what he's trying to get through your head, folks. Even though we're the only country in the world that has this problem, because every other country has common sense gun laws.
That is, there has been a dramatic increase in the amount of anger and violence that's taking place in America.
Stochastic terrorism.
What Texas is doing in a big-time way, we are working to address that anger and violence by going to its root cause, which is addressing the mental health problems behind it.
That's right. Republicans tackling that mental health. Isn't that what they do? Isn't that what they do, folks? Don't they cheer for socialized health care where we can fund people's mental health, right? Isn't that the reality in which we live in? No. Abbott blamed Texas school shooting on lack of mental health resources, but he reportedly cut more than $200 million from the department that handles them. Because, of course, they don't have to do anything. They know the people in Texas are still going to elect them because the people in Texas don't care. They don't care. They love their guns more than they love their children, and that's 100% the God's honest truth. Any of them that try to tell you otherwise, they're just bullshit. There's no reason to even fucking listen to them. There's what you say you believe, and then there's your actions, and your actions prove what you actually believe, and your actions prove what you believe, Texas. And yeah, I guess this part's true. Apparently this guy was working as a state licensed armed security officer. Is that part true? If that's true, then that means that he was eligible to work at elementary schools. Doesn't seem like whatever you're doing is working very well there, Greg Abbott. And folks, it's hard to surprise me, but sometimes things do kind of surprise me. I don't know why Fox News is able to surprise me, but the day of a fucking mass shooting on Fox News, their advice for life in America: you need to have a plan to kill every person you meet. Not talk about the toxic troll culture, not talk about reasonable gun legislation, not even talk about mental health. No, you have to have a plan to murder everybody in order to keep yourself safe. That's the society we live in. Just accept it. Just accept it. This is who we are.
Do. And just like General Mathis once said, be polite, be professional, but have a plan to kill everyone you meet, because you never know. If you're at your workplace, your business workplace, something you might say could possibly cause someone to snap because they've had a very bad day. You don't know what kind of day someone's had, and your words can make the difference between someone having a good day or a bad day. So always speak with kind words to somebody, and your words can make a difference.
That's right. Always be prepared to kill everybody you meet, America. This is just the dystopian nightmare we live in now. Don't try to do anything about it. Don't pass any laws. Don't think about it. Don't make it political. Just carry a gun on you everywhere you go, and just in your mind, make a plan to murder all these people. Totally normal country on the #1 cable news network in the entire fucking place. Why not, right? Meanwhile, you got super geniuses like Jercules Kevin Sorbo. Assault weapons aren't real. Just like there's no such thing as an assault car. Okay, well, I mean, We regulate cars. You have to have a license to drive a car. You have to register your vehicle and pay taxes on it. So yeah, okay. If it's like that, then we should have a test and registration. No. So it's not like that at all. Jerkules. This is why we can't have any changes, because these motherfuckers keep putting the same dumbest talking points over and over. Same bullshit, same brainless narratives. And they do a great job of keeping the bottom feeders from changing anything. And it's always been like this. Remember the Las Vegas shooter? How many people did he kill firing into the crowd of concert goers? Marjorie Taylor Greene, the most popular congressperson right after it happened, was out there blaming it on a false flag operation, folks. You can't even hold the people that do it accountable. And you can't even start to have the gun conversation, because if they can make you believe that it's actually the government doing it, it's false flag, then it muddies the water. It distracts, and you can't even have the conversation.
I've got a question for you. How do you get avid gun owners and people that support the Second Amendment to give up their guns and go along with anti-gun legislation?
I guess you don't. I guess no matter how many people are murdered, no matter how many kids, it's never going to happen.
How do you do that? Maybe you accomplish that by performing a mass shooting into a crowd that is very likely to be conservative, very likely to vote Republican, very likely to be Trump supporters, very likely to be pro-Second Amendment, and very likely to own guns. You make them scared, you make them victims, and you change their mindset, and then possibly you can pass anti-gun legislation.
This is why nothing's been be done about it. This is why nothing will ever be done about it. It turns out that the Las Vegas shooter had a beef with the casinos. He thought the casinos were unfairly treating him. And I guess he thought that if he created a mass murder event in the middle of the casinos, he would hurt the casino's bottom line and get revenge upon them. But it's just always a conspiracy to distract, so we can never do anything about it. And this crazy ass world, like, even seeing somebody walk around with an AR-15 is not enough to let you know you're supposed to panic and escape. You never know. These motherfuckers are carrying their guns like Target everywhere. Seeing someone with an AR-15 or an AK-47 come to a shopping mall should immediately elicit mass panic and fear. Everybody running everywhere. As soon as you see it, more people might be saved, but instead, we can't even do that. We don't even know. You can't tell the good guys from the bad guys before it's too late. Can't even get a warning on it, folks. By the time you know which is which, you're already fucking dead. And it's stochastic terrorism, like I said. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse now that Elon Musk has taken over. Other people have noticed too, even Booger Nick Fuentes. Cheering how good Elon Musk has been for spreading right-wing talking points and white supremacy. Booger Nick, Elon Musk is red-pilled. Obviously, I wish that my account was reinstated, but it's inarguable at this point that Elon's hostile takeover of Twitter has been a massive win for the American right. Not only has he replatformed thousands of right-wing accounts, Nazi accounts, but he himself is using his platform to post content that is more based than almost anyone in mainstream America right on race and other issues. And he's gone every right-wing talking point. He's even posting white supremacist memes that use fake statistics in order to make black people look like they're murdering white people in mass, in order to stoke racial tension between the races, to keep us at each other's throat, to keep the culture war going, so he can continue to rake in billions of dollars. We'll cover that in the next section. But anyway, that's my coverage on it, folks. I know it was slow. I know I'm not being really energetic tonight, but I feel like this is a serious topic that I need to take more seriously. And I don't really feel like being that jovial today, to be honest with you. Usually I'm in a good mood. Usually I'm a pretty happy guy, but not today. Who needs to carry an AK or AR into the mall? The most insecure dipshits in the world. It's part of their personality. They don't have a personality, so they're trying to replace it with anything, and that's what they've come up with. That's how pathetic they are. Your show is actually quite relaxing. Yeah, I'm doing a little ASMR today. All right, let's go ahead and move along, folks. I thought it was going to be a short show tonight, but it looks like it's going to be a long one. I don't know why I even ever try to say it's going to be a short show. Get your super chats in. We're going to do one more section, and then we're going to read the super chats. But right now, it's what the fuck. What the fuck? And you guys see this one? So this is a little, I don't know if I want to say this is more funny. It's not funny, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that this guy, Glenn Cooper, who I think is a baseball announcer for like the A's or something. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he must say the N-word in real life a lot or something, because they just seem to slip very naturally. So he was trying to say let me say this very slowly, the Negro Baseball League Museum. Negro Baseball League Museum. And he's on indefinite suspension after he said this.
We had a phenomenal day today. Negro League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue.
Okay, yeah, what's that? Oh, okay, one more time.
We had a phenomenal day today. Negro League Museum.
Okay, stop it. That guy's face. Oh my, what did you say?
And Arthur Bryant's Barbecue.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, that's not a slip you want to happen on national television. Not the best. And then, don't know what's going on here, but apparently, this teacher, he got punched on a video last month by a student for some reason. I think he took the student's phone for cheating, and so this month he's taken another girl's phone away from her during class, and she really wants her phone, y'all.
Oh, Mace? No.
Yeah, she just maced him. She maced him.
Mace is crazy. Nah, she just maced it. Nah. No, I gotta go. Hold on. Nah. No.
She just pepper sprayed me. Give me my phone. Give me my phone. God, wait. Hey.
I don't know. Give her phone. I'm just saying. She really wants her phone.
Over the phone is crazy.
She needs her phone. No one has ever needed their phone this bad, folks. This girl needs her phone stat. She is serious about her phone, y'all. So, yeah, now you're going to go to jail and be expelled from school. She really needs her phone, y'all. I don't know. I really think that AI is going to take over education, and education is going to be completely transformed from what it is now, and it can't happen too soon. Definitely. I wonder why nobody wants to be a teacher these days. And speaking of getting maced, apparently this guy, it says, I don't know if this is true or not, but it says that he was trying to steal somebody's gold chain, and he got pepper sprayed, and a big man turned into a little man real quick.
Man tried to steal someone's chain and got pepper sprayed.
What do we learn? Got milk? When keeping it real goes wrong. He just straight up cried, man. Give him a towel. Somebody give him a towel. Nice butt, though. You got a nice poochie butt. I'll give him that. He's in shape. I'm guessing being maced must hurt. Never been maced. I did put some icy hot on my testicles one time, so that's probably similar. And then I don't know if this guy was on laughing gas, if he was on drugs. Pretty sure he didn't know that he was being recorded. But also pretty sure that this is not going to be covered by insurance. So hey, you're like in the dentist office, and You're like, hey, why don't I just try to do a handstand on the chair out of the blue? Look, I'm so badass and strong. Yeah, look, I look so cool right now doing this. And then, yeah, oh yeah, you fell over. And then everybody heard that. So he's got to sit up real quick and get back in his chair and act like he didn't do nothing. And before they get in here, and he's like, oh, hello. Yeah, I'm good. I'm an idiot. I did something dumb. Yeah, we're totally good. I wonder if she's impressed. Oh, I guess he was recording himself on his own phone. Well, that was really stupid, you fucking moron. And then, last but not least on What the Fuck, this story says, hotel manager accused of breaking in a guest room and sexually assaulting him by sucking on his toes. Yeah, okay. I'll allow it.
But a man says his sense of security was completely violated after an incident 2 months ago. News Channel 5's Chris Davis has the disturbing story.
I was in Nashville for a work conference.
Peter Brennan was fast asleep inside the Hilton downtown Nashville when he woke up to a nightmare.
I awoke to a gentleman, an employee of the Hilton, assaulting me.
He claims he saw a hotel employee performing sexual acts on his feet.
Instantly jumped up and was screaming, you know, went into
as you would.
Fact-finding mode. Who are you? Why are you in my room? What are you doing here?
Exactly.
But I could see he was wearing a uniform, he had his name tag on, and then he was
zipping up,
talking to me, but not giving me any like substantive answers.
So how did he get inside? Peter thinks the hotel employee may have cloned his room key and let himself right into the room. When the Hilton security guard was unhelpful, Brennan called in Metro Police, who launched an investigation.
Sure he did.
They discovered the employee was actually the night manager, David Neely, and
Chinless
have
fuck.
issued a warrant for his arrest. And it turns out this isn't his only run-in with the law.
We found multiple crimes, felonies, prison time, court decisions.
Knowing that, Peter's attorney has filed a lawsuit against David Neely and Hilton Hotels in hopes they'll change some company policy.
Yeah, you think you might want to do a background check next time, Hilton. Not the best, and that's my what the fuck. Yeah, that story does suck. Wouldn't want to be that guy. And all right, I have a patron. You guys know how Patreon works, right? It's like I have a show that I'm doing after this show called The After Party, and there's lots of content. You should be a patron. If you're not, please do that. There's a link in the description of this video. All right, let's read the super chats. Welcome to Dust Buddy. It's all you new people. I appreciate having you here. Bathtub Static, my blood ritual worked. We got a show after all you did. I was going to cancel. Then I was like, no, I have to get off my ass and I have to cover this stuff. I'm sure no one is going to cover it like I do. No one ever fucking does. So, Tots and Pears, yep. April S, the most amazing human, just gifted 5 Cult Blessing memberships. So you lucky motherfuckers. Thank her. John Porter, when I was in elementary school, Columbine happened. Can't believe this shit is still going on. Yep, got to go on forever. Never going to change. Never going to end. This is who we are. Big black Corvette. They don't give a damn. Nope. They fearmonger about trans people, critical race theory, Black Lives Matter, women's rights, but never the gun rights, asteroid 2024. Yep, no lives matter, really. That's what they really believe. The one bun, I'm brown, I'm trans, I'm Texas, I'm terrified. Thank you for not waiting to talk about this. Please stay loud about these issues, Dusty. We need more people to give a damn about human life. It's lonely as hell out here. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm doing it. I thought that it'd be a good time for us to come together and talk about this stuff. Norb's Adventures, $50 Canadian. Hey, that's very generous. Thank you, Norbs. Thanks for your show, Dusty. Hey, appreciate you, Norbs. As long as you guys support it, I'm going to keep doing it. Urban Mass, $50 is also very generous. Thank you, Urban. I need to hear from that POS Texas shooter's parents. The Chin teacher and others had to have flagged him to them. Where are they now? You either agreed with your son's beliefs or left it up to society to deal with him. I wonder if they're even around. Who knows? But maybe we'll find out. Thank you, Urban. Trickster, $5. Texas shooter got you demonetized with his BS. Here's some help with that. I got demonetized? What gives you, did something pop up and say I'm demonetized? I mean, everything's demonetized already, but I mean, are you talking about something specific? Nope, I don't have any messages, so I'm not really sure what you're talking about. But yeah, I'm demonetized anyway. Like, if you guys ever see any ads on this show, I don't get the money from that. They put ads on the show because I show clips and other people monetize my work and they make the money. They're allowed to run advertisements on my show, but I'm not allowed to run advertisements on there. That's why I shield my Patreon every show. That's why I shield my super chats every show. That's the only way I make money. I don't make money off the advertising. I used to, like a decade ago. That's how I made my money, and so I didn't have to do this. But they changed the rules, so I had to change my rules. It's not the strongest of the species that survives. It's the one most capable of adaptation. Thanks for doing a show tonight, Dusty. Marcus, I appreciate you. Thank you for the $20. It's very generous. Brutal Orc, $30, also very generous. Thanks, man. Thanks, Brutal. America sucks. Capitalism sucks. The voting sucks. Education system sucks. I hate this country. How come I feel safer going to Brazil than going to events in the USA? At least they have universal health care. I hope you feel better. I hope we all feel better, you know? But thank you, Brutal Orc. I appreciate it. And yeah, I agree. It's so dangerous. It's ridiculous. I had to be afraid to go everywhere in this country now. Always look over your shoulder. It wasn't like that when I was a kid. Cuba lover, it's not that hard to be kind. Hatred takes more energy. That's 100. I say that shit all the time. It just takes too much energy to be an asshole. And E, what's up, E? Pulling up anchor in Nolan, selling for Dusty Water. Hell yeah, me and E gonna hang out tomorrow. We're gonna go get some margaritas at the Mexican restaurant. Love me some Mexican. My neighbor works at the Mexican restaurant that me and E gonna go eat at. So that's cool. Look forward to hanging out with you guys tomorrow, E, and I appreciate you. Thank you for the $50. It's very generous. Cupid Lover, 1972, $5. I know this might never happen, but maybe we should do what Australia did. Just get rid of the guns entirely and nobody could get shot. Yeah, but it's never going to happen. I mean, like you said, they don't care about the deaths. They don't care about our children. It's their religion, and they're never giving the religion up. April S, $50. Damn, very generous. Thank you, April. I knew that when 26 babies were slaughtered at Sandy Hook, no changes were enacted, that we were doomed. If that didn't change hearts and minds, then nothing will. I don't even know what to say. I'm so tired. I know, right? Like, I normally wouldn't have gone on even talked about it, but all the information about him being a white supremacist and all the stochastic terrorism and the fact that it just dovetails completely into my entire sermon I've been preaching for 5 years about the toxic troll culture on places like 4chan, 8chan, 8kun, and now full time on Twitter. It has to be talked about. We have to start talking about this radicalization of young men on these websites and how it's happening and why it's happening, and the fact they're hiding behind humor to try to justify it. Republicans will never address mental health because it will require banning guns from some people. Yep, it's their religion. They're not interested. Even red flag laws they're not interested in. People teach children about make-believe and the monster in the closet is not real, and then they fall back on weird fairy tales from the Bible, allergic to truth. Yep, got to brainwash the children. That's how you keep them in line. Thank you, Daniel. Adam Westish, they misheard. It's food pie with some gum. I don't understand that reference. That is over my head, but thank you, $200. Liniana, $20, very generous. Thank you, Liniana. For some reason, something in the back of my mind during Sunday night compelled me to see if there was a mass shooting. Lo and behold, it's almost like clockwork. This is what thoughts and prayers get us. Yep, I mean, you're almost always going to be right anyway, since it's happening every 3 days now. I hope you can burn one down and find some peace, Dusty. Yeah, I'm going to get fucking stoned out of my gore after tonight's show. Thank you. Norman Vidang, $20. Thank you for doing this. I know it's hard. Hang in there, bro. Hey, I will. And thank you for supporting the show, Norman. I appreciate you. JJ, Ruby, $2. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate you. Yeah, Ivy Evans, $10. What's up, Ivy? Big hugs from chat, Dust, man. Hey, I feel it. And I want you guys to know we're all in this together. So, like, I know you guys are probably down. We're all down. But hanging out together really helps. Cole James, $50. Ooh, love me some Cole James. Peace, Dusty. You're so generous, dude. I really appreciate it. And as always, I love your name. Glint, thanks for the show. Peace. Hey, peace to you, Glint. Appreciate you supporting us. Thanks for gifting, Jason Ashby. That's cool of you. E, $20. Pirate love is on the way. Hell yeah. I'm ready to receive your pirate love. All of it, E. Sedona Rose, here in Phoenix, they are cleaning the zone where homeless live. Where will they go? Dusty, could you cover it? When I am in office, I will enforce a tax permit from the city. Must earn 10% local capacity. Okay. I'll cover that on the next show. Please send it to me on the Twitter, and I'll cover it. I appreciate it. Thank you guys, everybody that supported the show. It really means a lot. If you want to get your super chats in, I'm going to read all the rest of them at the end of the show. We still got plenty of show to go, so you got plenty of time to get them in, but do it to it. All right, I'm going to try to psych myself up and be a little more energetic because the show will move along a lot quicker if I'm a little energetic. That's the reason I do my usually do my circus voice, because it makes the show go faster. When you have so much information to talk about, you got to move it fast. I'm going to try to switch gears out of ASMR a little bit and try to speed it up a little bit. So let's do the Chud Watch. All right, starts on Chud Watch. Scammy Davis Jr. Ali Alexander is out there bragging about the fact that he got outed as a groomer. He got outed with screenshots of DMs with his victims coming forward, everything, exposing him for exposing himself to underage kids, flirting, grooming. So now he's out today to brag that it has not affected his life in one single bit. Every single friend he had, he still has. Nobody has abandoned him. Because of course they didn't, Ali. This is what we're saying. You guys are fake. You guys don't actually care about the grooming. You don't care about the children. You don't care about any of this. You guys think that any of us buy your transparent bullshit. We don't. We know that you guys don't care. That's why you're so pathetic to us. That's why when you say this stuff, we know you're lying. Anyway, let's let him explain it.
And I will tell you this. Praise be to God, I haven't lost a single one of my friends. I haven't lost a single friend.
I'm sure you
in
haven't.
All the confusion and the hubbub of yesterday, I got to experience the most beautiful thing ever said to me by Ye yesterday. The most, and it's like, he said a lot of beautiful things. A lot. The most beautiful thing that he's ever said to me was said yesterday. And that's like, again, I'm supposed to sound like, he's supposed to be like, I don't know, depressed in a rehab, about to kill himself or get locked up by, secret Space Force or something. I don't know what the stories are about me these days. But the fact is that these past 2 to 3 weeks, they haven't been the best weeks of my life, but they've certainly been in the top 10. I'm never going away. I'm never going away. I'm just changing vocations. I'm changing the way I approach it. And, I conquered fame. That was another thing. I didn't even really realize like how famous I was.
Yep. No ramifications. Nothing happened to him. You can just groom children, get caught, admit to it, and nothing if you're a conservative. Because they are about nothing. They are nothing. Case in point, Marjorie Taylor Greene nominated Kyle Rittenhouse for a Congressional Gold Medal. Now, even if you're conservative, even if you're a conservative and you're listening to this show right now, even if you think, hey, Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent, surely you can see how ridiculous this is. Kyle Rittenhouse, first he got caught on video beating up a girl, and then he got caught on another video fantasizing about murdering black and other looters. And then he put himself in a situation where he could live out this fantasy of murdering looters. And he shot a guy who, mentally ill guy, didn't attack him. And then another guy thought he was an active shooter and tried to be a hero and stop this active shooter. He murdered this guy who was trying to be a hero. So even if you think that's self-defense, even if you think Kyle Rittenhouse shouldn't be put in jail for it, surely you can see how he's not a hero, right? And you can see how Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's their most popular Republican congressperson, she doesn't think Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero. She's clearly only doing this to try to upset people. See? Even people who murder others, even people who beat up women, fantasize about murdering looters, go out and murder people who are trying to be heroes and stop them from doing it. These are the people we will make our heroes. These are the people we'll give congressional medals of honor. Are you owned? Are you triggered? This is all that they're about. Surely, even if you're a conservative, you can see this, how this is not good for our country. If everybody that she could have put up for a congressional gold medal, the hero teachers we have, the firefighters, the social workers, the scientists, anybody, this is the person she's putting up there. Is there a conservative out there that supports this kind of thing? I would like to know why, really. I would like to have you explain it to me. But I know you don't. I know whatever reason you're going to give me is going to be either disingenuous because you guys don't argue in good faith, or whatever's behind it is just going to be, look at everybody, it's upsetting. And that's all we are, trolls. This toxic troll culture is exactly what's leading to all these mass shootings, folks. And here's their hero, here's their god man, Donald Trump. Now, media's not even covering this very much. Right-wing media especially, but Donald Trump right now is on trial. It's a civil trial because he raped a woman back in the 80s. And she's suing him because he denied it, which slandered her. Probably going to win the lawsuit. Probably going to win a pretty chunk of change from him, I imagine. So he was over in Ireland, bloviating like he does, telling the press, oh, well, I'm going to go back to America and I'm going to testify the trial and stand up to this woman. I'm going to push back because you got to push back. Here's what he said. Guess what he actually did?
I have to leave Ireland and I have to leave Scotland, where I have great properties. I have to leave early. I don't have to, but I choose to.
Will you attend the trial, Mr. President?
I'll probably attend. It's a disgrace that it's allowed to happen. It's called false accusations against a rich guy, or in my case, against a famous, rich, and political person that's leading the polls by 40 points. And I have to go back for a woman that made a false accusation about me, and I have a judge who's extremely hostile. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to confront this woman. This woman is a disgrace, and it shouldn't be allowed to happen in our country.
Right, he's innocent. He's going to go back and he's going to confront her. And then the judge saw this clip and he said, all right, well, I'll give you to 5 p.m. on a certain day to come back, and I'll give you that extended period to come back and testify. You can confront her. And of course, he didn't. He did not show up. He just lies. That's all he does, because he knows that it does not matter what he says. Never be held accountable for it. And here he is, basically admitting to what he's accused of doing. She says that he cornered her, slid his fingers and his penis into her without her permission. Didn't ask her, just did it. And here he is defending his comments on Access Hollywood at a previous deposition. They played this in his rape trial. This is what he said.
And you say, and again, this has become very famous in this video, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the pussy?
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
And you.
Yep, I'm a star. You can just do it, just admitting to it. Tens of millions of proud white evangelical Christians worship this man because they're not about anything. These people have nothing inside of them, a hollow core. And yet somehow, folks, this is the nightmare we live in. According to a new Washington Post poll, when people asked who handled the economy better, Trump is at 54% and Biden is at 36%. Trump left office with less people employed than when he came into office. The first time that's happened since George Bush in 20 years. As Aaron Rupert says, absolutely insane when you consider that Trump presided over a loss of 3 million jobs while Joe Biden presided over the addition of more than 12 million. Our population is so uneducated, they literally have no idea what's going on. All they know is, oh, Trump's a billionaire. Oh, he must be good at economy, right? He must be good at economic things. And Biden is on the left, right? So we all know the left is bad at the economy. So without knowing anything, our population decides on major issues like this, which is why we're so goddamn doomed. And our Supreme Court justices are completely bought off in this country. 3 branches of government supposed to be checks and balances. One of the main ones completely bought and paid for. Justice Thompson Justice Thomas, Clarence Thomas. Nazi collector billionaire bought up his mom's house, let her live there rent free, gave him tens of thousands of dollars in gifts, sends his grandson to a private school for $6,200. Republicans don't see any problem with it. They don't care about the corruption. And here, Durbin on CNN connects the dots completely, 100% fully to show how corrupt this entire situation is.
I understand that this stuff should have been disclosed. I mean, I think it's pretty difficult to argue that it shouldn't have been disclosed. But can you point to any specific action that you think Justice Thomas has taken on the court that you think was influenced by any of this?
Well, of course, you can connect the dots and draw your own conclusions from them. But when you have Leonard Leo's organization sending money to Thomas's family and instructing Kellyanne Conway to make sure you don't disclose the justice's wife's name in the process, though the money's going to her. You have the organization that is sending the money, filing an amicus brief before the court in the Shelby County decision on voting rights. You have a final verdict where Clarence Thomas rules in favor of Leonard Leo's organization and votes 5-4. Connect those dots and say, wait a minute, that stinks. You shouldn't have that sort of thing happening at the highest court in America. It just destroys the integrity of the court.
Yeah, just as outright, in-your-face, corrupt as it can possibly be. So, of course, convicted felon Dinesh D'Souza, we are watching the second attempted lynching of Clarence Thomas. Somebody wants to hold him accountable for taking bribes, and they're going to compare it to the lynching of black people by white supremacists, folks. This is how dastardly and low they are. By the same Democratic Party that tried this once before and has lynched tens of thousands of uppity blacks over a century and a half ago. Yeah, that's why all the racists are Democrats these days. Every one of them here are Republican. Every single one of them. All the Nazis are Republican. Everyone. And even these serious people in the party. Here's a Mike Pence, who's not supposed to be falling for any of that nonsense, says, I stand with Justice Clarence Thomas and call on every American to join me in defending this good man and principled jurist. Yep. Every one of them, even the good ones, are rotten to their goddamn core. No integrity, nothing inside. Hollow center. And there's a hilarious feud apparently brewing between Dan Bongino and Stephen King, talking about punching above your weight class. Dan Bongino responds to Stephen King, wah, 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 and says, keep crying, you chump. Yeah, isn't Stephen King just a chump? What has he ever done? Does your mama tell people her kids perished in a fire rather than acknowledge your sorry existence? Yeah, I know Stephen King's mom is real disappointed in him. After spawning you, is she horrified? Does the pain fuel your perverted stories? Yeah, the stories are so perverted. From the #1 author in the history of mankind. Good God. And one more on Chud Watch. Lying is all they do, folks. This is how they make their money. This is how they spread their narratives because they know their side doesn't care. They get rewarded for it. Here's our Radio Geneva putting out anti-Ukraine propaganda to prop up the Russians and the Russian war. Meanwhile, in Kyiv nightclubs, and here's a nightclub supposedly in Kyiv in Ukraine where they're just partying and celebrating. Please donate more money. Yep, see, look at them. Yeah, while we're donating tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. They're just dancing their ass off and stealing from us over in Ukraine. There's not even a war going on over there. But yeah, this is fake. This clip is from Boho Club 22 in Warsaw, Poland, and runs from 2021. Doesn't matter. Already got 8.6 million views. Already got 20,000 likes. Damage is done. This is how the propaganda game is played on Elon Musk's Twitter. And that's my Chud Watch. More agitprop. Yes, sir, it is. I'd love to hear King's response. Wouldn't even have to respond, really. Don't even say anything to that joke. Is Stephen King's mom even alive? Very doubtful. But she might be buried in the pet cemetery, so watch your backs. Trump equals Jesus to MAGAs? Yes. Orange Jesus, definitely. And then, folks, let's move right along to a little something I like to call He Shall Be Elon. Super high energy from Dusty Smith tonight, y'all. And this stochastic terrorism is just going to get worse and worse and worse because, like I said, Elon, he seems to have reached a point, I guess. And a lot of conservative influencers reach this point. A lot of popular rich people like that. This is the same thing David Silverman did. When your ego takes a hit and the left shits on you some, and you double down and you triple down and you refuse to do any kind of self-examination, you refuse to take any responsibility for your actions, it has to be everybody else. And then you keep just sliding further and further and further to the right. And I think Elon is so pathetic. He just wants to be liked so bad. He wants to be popular so bad. And yet only the dregs of society like him. And he's starting to realize that all the hate he is getting. So his ego has come to a point where he's like, well, if everybody's going to hate me, then I'm just going to own it. I'm going to start being worse on purpose, because at least then I can take some power over it. I can tell myself they hate me because I want them to hate me. I'm making them hate me on purpose, even though originally that's not what he's trying to do at all. But that's all he's got now to try to save his very, very fragile ego. So first off, the sycophants on Twitter posted shit like this. Welcome to Twitter, yeah, where Elon Musk is king. Very cool. From the foreign agent that lives in Malaysia, never stepped foot in America, and pretends to be an American conservative, who Elon Musk signal boosts for continuously. This is as cucked as it gets. I don't know how anybody could purport to believe in alpha males, rugged individuals, and also support these people who are as cucked as you could possibly goddamn get, nothing but the lowest of bootlickers, embarrassing in every way. And then Elon, once again, trying to claim that he was poor, that he grew up poor. I grew up in a lower transitioning to upper middle income situation. Yeah, super poor white kid in apartheid Africa with his daddy's emerald money. His daddy selling a private plane for a stake in an emerald mine. So poor, Elon Musk. Just so fucking pathetic. He wants so bad to be an everyman. But no, Elon, you're thinking of me. That's my fucking life, dude. Not yours, you privileged, pampered baby. And then, like I said, folks, he's reached the level where he is trying on purpose now. They come to a point when you start going down the rabbit hole of right-wing talking points and spreading right-wing narratives, where the only direction you can go is into the race shit. Unless you're going to pull back and go the other direction and try to stop being this person, the next level of spreading the hatred and the bigotry is just to jump head first into the racist nonsense. And that's what he's done. He started retweeting and signal boosting for all the common right-wing racist talking points that we've heard for years and years and years. Blacks kill each other. Whites kill themselves. Intra-racial, that means races doing crime amongst themselves. Most white people are killed by other white people. Most black people are killed by other black people. That's just the way it is. But yep, interesting as he signal boosts for this common right-wing white supremacy talking point. In this wokeness, over 6.3 million illegal aliens entered the country since January 21st. Or 2021. 33 states have a population below 6.3. Wow, he says. He's just trying to spread the information. He has nothing interesting to say, nothing to add. And he's too much of a coward to add his own thoughts too much. But he just wants this message to spread. He wants to signal boost for it because it's a common white supremacist talking point. And he wants us fighting the culture war so we don't come after him, folks. That's all this is about. And yes, Musk really is turning this into 4chan. It's just going to get worse here. So here he is posting another wokeness. Interracial violent crime incident since 2018. And according to this, 447,000, almost 550,000 black people attack white folks, but only 60,000 white folks attack black folks. To which Elon, signal boost for it, responds, odd. Why would the media misrepresent the real situation to an extreme degree? Yeah, why would somebody misrepresent what is happening here to such an extreme degree, Elon? Well, I know you're going to be shocked, but those stats are completely made up. As was fact-checked back in 2020. a thread about propaganda on social media. Here's a tweet I found as a response buried in one of God Emperor's Cheeto dick faces. I'm ruining the world and there's nothing you can do about it tweets. Alt text added for the visually impaired. It probably doesn't surprise you, but the data in this tweet is entirely fabricated. It's also no accident that the tweet pops up while people are rightfully outraged over the brutal murder of George Floyd. This chart, meaning whatever, is clearly meant to say one thing, that black and brown people are committing violent crimes aimed at white people at insane numbers compared to the reverse, and yet gasp, all the media outrage is about the few bad apple whites that oopsie, a violence on a less melanin challenge from time to time. Since this is an obvious propagandist at their day job, I responded in case someone else ran across it. I posted the link to the actual Bureau of Justice statistics. And yes, you can look at the justice statistics, and they made it up. Interracial crime, it's black people attacking white people 15% of the time, and white people attacking black people 10% of the time. So there's like a 5-6% difference instead of the meme Elon put up, which makes it look like, look, 10 times, whatever. Just made up. But this is the path he's decided to go down now. And this is exactly the kind of thing that the terrorist shooter is looking at. The same stochastic terrorism that is causing these people to go out and commit mass murder. This is what Elon is turning Twitter into, folks. And yes, fact check rates of white on white and black on black crime are similar. There's a whole article about it, and the statisticians explain why people posting these stats are trying to fool you. Because if you break them down, apples to apples comparisons and orange to orange comparison, there's only like 8% points between white folks and black folks in intraracial crime. But the truth doesn't matter. The whole point is just putting the lies out there, never correcting the record, because they know how effective that is. It's the culture war. But at least AOC out there is continuously owning Elon Musk. She retweets his false propaganda with a response at this rate. He's going to be begging for MyPillow ad buys in no time. And true, like, the advertisers are never coming back to the site. No matter how much he claims that they're already coming back or promised to come back, it's never going to happen. They don't want to be a part of this. They can't be. They're too careful with their brands to be a part of this. So yes, something like Blue Sky is going to come out. Everybody's going to switch to Blue Sky, and Twitter is going to be a $44 million crater in the ground. And Elon Musk ain't gonna give a shit. He bought this as a vanity project. Just for shits and giggles, y'all. And then more of his just stupid racism and his propaganda, his misinformation. So someone posted this video. These protesters must be from out of town. They're basically at the New York subway protesting the killing of the young Jordan. To which Elon says, why didn't they protest when the children were murdered at the Christian school? So he's trying, twofold, basically he's trying to do a whataboutism. He's trying to distract from the issue. Don't think about this poor homeless guy that got murdered by the Marine. What about all the cute white Christian kids? Why aren't people only concerned when a black homeless person is killed? Why are they not concerned about the kids? Why were they protesting about the kids? Well, of course, we all know they absolutely were protesting about the kids. Two of the legislatures literally got voted out of the building. Remember this, Elon? Remember? They protested so hard that you conservatives were comparing this to the January 6th insurrection and saying it was the same thing. That's how hard they protested. Remember the two young black men who protested so hard the legislature kicked them out? So just straight fucking lies. That's all he's doing here. He's not playing dumb. He knows better. He knows what the truth is. But race baiting is his latest tactic in order to distract. And then Mr. Politically Neutral is liking Marjorie Trader Greene's tweets now. Marjorie Trader Greene says, the Marine who stepped in to protect others is a hero. The left always chooses career violent criminals and or drug addicts as their heroes and martyrs. And communist anarchists like AOC blow the dog whistle. Jordan Neely was a violent criminal who should have been behind bars. Maybe. But should he have been executed for what he did? No. And Elon doing what he does, race baiting, spreading right-wing propaganda. Tell me, Bill Maher, how he's not a conservative. Please explain it to me again. And now, folks, he's straight up responding to Q himself, Ron Watkins, who got outed as the account behind Q. Owner of 8con, the 4chan clone, another one of these places where the toxic troll culture has led directly to mass murder. The mass murderers literally went on his websites and posted during, before, and after they committed mass murder. Now, Elon Musk is Johnny on the spot to be a reply guy to Q. Ron says, please consider adding a feature to purchase Twitter Blue for others as a gift. Coming soon, says Elon. The whole point of this is to troll people who don't want Twitter Blue by forcing Twitter Blue upon them. Because isn't that hilarious? My product is so worthless, I'll give it to you as a punishment. There's great advertising for you, you fucking children. And of course, the cruelty is the point with these people, folks. There's no bottom that they cannot find. IMI is wrong. The wrong is more than the internet. The Malaysian agent interfering in our elections posted, did Jordan Neely deserve what happened to him, folks? Why would you even post that? And of course, the conservatives he attracts, 74 to 26% said he deserved to be murdered for being too loud about being homeless and hungry and desperate. He deserved to be murdered. It's a capital offense. And Elon Musk liked the poll. Spread the poll. This is what he wants. This is what they all want. Kind of on the nose for a apartheid South African kid to try to start a race war, but here we are. Meanwhile, Elon with his bullshit, somebody said, hey, I see almost nothing but right-wingers on my timeline now. And he says, you should be seeing something closer to a 50-50 balance. Yeah, that's what we want. Yes, a social media site in 2023 should be aiming to have 50% balance between election, climate, Holocaust deniers, and everyone else in society. Totally normal to desire. Yeah, both sides, yeah. Those who want to kill black folks and those who want black people to live should both have equal time, right? 50-50. People who spread nonsense, misinformation, and lies should have 50-50. The people that tell the truth, right? Should be dead even. Makes sense, right? And with no shame, no hint of irony whatsoever, Elon Musk got to pretend like he's part of a movement against corporations and the resistance. He posted this, when the corporations are advertising your movement, you aren't the resistance. Literally, Elon Musk, you are the richest man in the world. You have bought one of the most important social media platforms to advertise your positions to everybody, to force everybody to see your narratives continuously. There has never been corporate advertising on the scale that we are seeing you do, Elon Musk. Nobody on your side, none of your sycophants or any way are part of the resistance. You cannot be part of the resistance harder than you are when you are opposing the richest people on the planet. Just pick the top 5 richest people on the planet and do everything you can to oppose them, to throw a fly into the ointment, to throw a monkey in the wrench. If you want to be anti-establishment, part of the resistance, that's how you do it. And if you are on their side at all, you are not part of the resistance. You are part of the fucking machine. You are a cog in the machine. You are another cog in the machine, man. Another brick in the wall. So ridiculous. But at least things are not working out for him as I predicted they wouldn't. Apparently more than half of Twitter Blue's earliest subscribers are no longer subscribed. That's a 50% attrition rate. He was not even at 1% of what he needed anyway. 1%. He had this big idea about how he didn't need the advertisers anymore. He could bring Nazis back on. He could spread racism and hatred, and he could get away with it because he didn't have to be funded by advertisers. He could get subscriptions, and he's not even 1% of the way that he needs there yet. And he has a 50% attrition rate, which means he's never going to get there. It's a failure. It's a bust. And good. Twitter to 0. You can't fail fast enough, fucko. And that's my He Shall Be Elon coverage. All Elon says is, I know, right? Spit it out, fucking porky pig. Goddamn dude can't speak worth a shit. People tell me that guy's a fucking genius. I'll talk circles around Elon Musk. Circles around that motherfucker. All right. Move right along, folks. What time is it? All right, 9:55. We're about to enter overtime. We still got a little show to go. Be sure if you're not a patron, just do it. What the fuck? Just do it. Go sign up for Patreon. Like, whatever you can afford. Just chip in, motherfuckers. Anyway, we're going to do a good hero section, a slow news week, and one religious bullshit on the hero section. We're going to finish the show out tonight with the Beyond Parody section. So, last chance to get your super chats in. This is the last section we're going to do tonight. And also, go sign up for my Patreon. And if you're a Dust Buddy, which is available for $2.99 a month, which you get customized emojis to spend the chat with, there's a link in the community section of YouTube, which will link you to the after party tonight so you can see all the free content that's available. But for now, let's finish it off with some Beyond Parody. Beyond Parody. Yep, that's all I could muster tonight. A little Beyond Parody. First off, on tonight's Beyond Parody, they're still with this goddamn Bud Light shit. Like, somehow they don't have the ability to be embarrassed, so they continuously just up the embarrassment, the cringe, level after level after level. This time they got a flamethrowers and a drone to film them destroying the beer they bought. God damn it.
You smelling tranny fluid?
You smelling tranny fluid? Oh my God. How are you not embarrassed? I don't get it, y'all. But anyway, thank you. Like, I appreciate your service. I need things to make fun of, and God damn it, do you make it easy. And then he got a Gatling gun, and he can barely even hit the goddamn beer with a Gatling gun, y'all. Way too much money. There are literally 20,000 children dying every single day of hunger. A homeless epidemic out of control. Every day people going bankrupt from medical emergencies, and this is what they're spending their money on, folks. They're nihilists. They don't actually care about anything. They don't care about our society. They don't care about their own children. They don't care about themselves. It's just, who can I upset? I just want everybody to be upset. I want everybody to be as miserable as I am. That's all they are. Speaking of which, Florida motocross transphobe, this is Zachary Ward. Look at this loser. Has been arrested on 30 counts of possession of child sexual abuse images. This fucking pedo. So of course, he's trying to cast the spotlight on other people. Hide in the shadows. Posted this picture of she, her Bud Light with the tag, gives pounding a tall boy after work a whole new meaning. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. And then, folks, prepare yourself for the ultimate in masculinity. You can't get any more beefcake and masculine than this motherfucker. And if anybody on earth would know what a real woman is, it would be this gentleman right here. I can't tell if he's 12 or 50, but he is a peak physical specimen. Like it or not. Berlin Hollyhand, who has 40,000 subscribers, y'all. 16-year-old has 40,000 subscribers. I have 8. I have 7,500. That's all I've meant to muster doing the show for 5 years. It just sucks. Whatever. Says, hey, Dylan Mulvaney, let me lay this out for you in the simplest terms possible. My friend Sarah Huckabee is a real woman. You are not. Bud Light, take no. Yeah, I mean, like, if I had to draw a caricature of a person who I would think Sarah Huckabee is a peak example of a real woman, this is the kid it would be. Nailed it right on the fucking nose. Yep. This is exactly the kind of person I would think would be sitting around lusting for Sarah Huckabee Sanders. All of my yikes, everybody. And then, folks, what is wrong with you English people? Like, seriously, is this a joke? Incest McGee over here with his fucking sausage finger and whatever this weird ass cosplay is. Made the King of England. Like that's something that should still goddamn exist in 2023. How are you guys not embarrassed? Look how weird and ridiculous and silly and nonsensical all of everything about this is. King Incest there with his gross ass hands. Yeah, let's just let him have the fucking power. Oh, it's ceremonial, Dusty. Fuck everything about that. It's not as ceremonial as you guys want to pretend, and you don't need that. Almost like hundreds of years of incest is bad with this fucking sausage finger. It's just nasty. You English people are weird. At least you guys make me feel a little better over here in Mississippi. And folks, I saw this picture and like Carrie Lake, unafraid, just getting started with her sitting there, and she released this herself with her pretending she's so brave and bold, and like, how can anybody look at this and think this is not a parody? How is this not a parody? How is this not a parody? Vaseline woman just trying to look so badass, this self-aggrandizing, sucking your own dick bullshit. How does anybody look at this like, oh my God, she's so brave, I want to send her money? And they do. It's just, but don't worry, folks, she's just getting started grifting, y'all. So plenty of grifting left to come from Carrie Lake. Got that looking forward to. She's unafraid to grift you all. The only thing she's afraid of, turning off the filter. And, all right, I guess I'll do these last two. Why not? Eric Metaxas, who was a preacher, he ran up and punched somebody one time who was riding a bike and said something they didn't like about Trump, as a preacher would do. Anyway, here he is, proving how cool Christianity is. Today, on my run up through Central Park in Harlem, I saw 4 teenagers smoking weed. As I passed them, I shouted in a firm but friendly voice, "Smells like failure," and kept going. I said it as an act of love, honestly. I hope that at some point, one of them might think about it. Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they're going to be like, oh my God, that dude saved my life. Like 5 years ago, I was just minding my own business in the park, smoking weed, and this motherfucker ran by and called me a loser. And I was like, oh my God, he's right. I am a loser. Say nope to dope, and I turned my life around. Thank you, Eric Metaxas. Like, good God, dude. Way to make white people look even fucking worse. And speaking of making white people look worse, Ted Cruz put out a video against his Senate political rival. And he put out a picture of the wrong black person, because of course he does. I guess all black folks look the same to him. Ted Cruz sent out a campaign text with the wrong picture of his opponent. Colin Allred, it's like, hi, yeah, that's not me. That's not even close to me. That guy's like 20 years older than me. That's a picture of Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg. So, super cool, Ted Cruz. And then I'm going to finish tonight's show off with this one, folks. Alex Jones got trolled, y'all. Any day Alex Jones gets trolled is a beautiful day. And of course, Captain Free Speech is clamoring to have the man who trolled him thrown in prison. Because of course, there's always a different rule for free speech when it's them. When it's somebody making fun of them, somebody making a joke of them, straight to prison. But for them to say whatever they want to, say children didn't exist, didn't die, to send his cult after their parents, that's free speech. But not this, folks. This isn't free speech. Here's a Prank Stallone calling up Alex Jones and using an AI voice modulator to make Alex Jones think he's Tucker Carlson.
Alex.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hey, Alex, it's Tucker. Do you have a minute to talk?
Absolutely.
You busy right now, or you got a second to talk?
I just jumped out. What's going on, brother?
You busy right now, or you got a second to talk?
No, I just left a meeting with my wife. Go ahead.
I was thinking we could do a show together where we're topless and we suck each other's nipples and sort of play with them a bit. It would be a comment on gender
That's a really
roles,
great idea.
sort of a funny.
It's a really great
thing.
idea.
Alex,
Well,
they
you
took
gotta
my
do it at
Bobby tie. What the fuck,
Infowars.com,
man?
though.
Gotta do my
Alex,
show.
they took my Bobby tie. What the fuck, man?
You got to go
It's
to
actually me.
Infowars.com.
Did my number not come up?
What's going on, man?
Alex,
there?
they took my Bobby tie. What the fuck, man?
I know it's not good. Well, it does sound like you, but the AI is so good now. You don't usually talk like that. Hey, are you there? Are you there?
Am I on the air?
No, you're not on the air. I'm on a break.
Okay.
Well, we got about 2 minutes.
You got to tell me. You got to tell me if I'm on the air, right? You know that, right?
Dude, you're not. Are you? I'm not on air right now. You can watch my show. I'm running the tape.
I don't watch your show, but yeah, what's up? What can I do for you, my man?
Well, I can tell you, Tucker's getting his lawyers involved and stuff. I saw your tweets concerned about it. So you should come on the air and explain it all is just a prank, and then you're worried about the dangerous AI, and we have a friendly interview. And I think that because
we don't interview. Tucker's getting his lawyers involved, but what exactly have I done that breaks the law?
Well, spoofing numbers and then representing yourself to somebody else.
But I sent you a text message immediately afterwards clarifying that it was me doing an AI, and you responded to that. So you acknowledged that it was me doing that.
Well, no, I don't acknowledge it.
Only...
Listen, if you don't want to come on the air, that's your business.
So anyway, now he's in public calling for the guy to be arrested because, of course, he is. Talking about not being able to take a joke. Where's your sense of humor? Anyway, yeah, Alex Jones wants this comedian arrested all over a prank call. Can't take a joke, Alex. So sensitive. You need a safe space. So much for free speech, but of course that's always the way it is. They don't actually believe in free speech. When they say free speech, what they mean is they want to platform Nazis. That's what they mean. That's all they really gave a shit about. And all right, folks, that is my show. But I'm still going to do another 20 minutes on the after party with Dusty Smith. Another somber after party coming up. So be sure to switch over to the after party, y'all. Join me on Patreon. Let me read the super chats. If you bail out, please hit the like button before you go. I would appreciate it. Thank you. And leave comments. Do all the things. You know how to do it. Orion McFadden, 666. Love the number. I'm going to tell you the same thing I used to tell callers when I was a crisis counselor. Nothing lasts forever, not even bad things. Chin up, mate. Yeah, I mean, I'll be fine, you know, but it's a somber day. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it doesn't have any effect on me, because it does. But thank you for that. Barbara Walker, I'm giving Despity. Welcome, Barbara. Pardon me, I'm drunk. The actual FBI stats to debunk the race murders be post was me on 9gag. Sure, it could be someone else on Twitter, but it took me 2 hours to find and gather the facts, and it looks like my screenshot. Okay, cool. Great job you did there then. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's odd. MTG has the face of a dragon-headed cat. Katie did. Yep. Socks stay on. Much love, Dusty. Hey, thank you, Joseph in Berkham 1999. Very generous. I appreciate you. Thank you, man. Hey, Scotty. Jesus, man. Blast from the past. Great show, Dusty. We gonna be all right, brother. We are. I appreciate you. Thank you for your generosity, Big Black Corvette. Welcome to Dusty's Lost Soul. Hope to see you at the after party tonight. Tristan Kennedy. I've been watching for a long time, Dusty. Figured it was high time. I gave you some money. Keep up the great work. Hey, I appreciate you. Better late than never. Beast Nation. What's up, Beast? Get this money. I will. I got it all. Got your $2, Beast. The Cupid Lover 1932. Rittenhouse King Metal. Gold King Metal. Yeah, fuck that dude, right? The Stem Dragon. $10. The last one blanked for some reason. It's time to start referring to mass shootings as official Republican Party sanctioned killings. That's pretty good. I like that. ORPSKs. They are entirely to blame for all this. Shame on them. Yes, agreed. They are. Abolish the Grand Old Party. $20. They're going to abolish themselves. We're going to have a one-party system, which we don't need. We need a second party and a progressive party for sure. I like the real Dusty voice. Hey, thank you, Catalina. Maybe I'll do more like laid-back shows. But like, it just... If I was doing my circus voice, I could have done this whole thing in an hour, though. That's the reason I do it so fast, because usually I have like way more content to this, and I'm trying to shove all that content in like 20 hours of content in 2 hours, and so that's why I'm talking that circuit voice, speaking real fast, but just didn't feel appropriate today. The Stern Dragoon, $10. Thank you, the Stern. I appreciate it. Sedona Rose, what's up, Sedona? Here in Phoenix, they are clearing the zone. I already read that. All right, good. All right, folks. We're about to get out of here and switch over to the after party. I sure appreciate you. Everybody who supported me tonight, you guys are real generous. It's been an honor, as always, hanging out with you guys. And I'll be back on Friday. You know, it's only a few days away. I'm sure there'll be 4 or 5 more mass shootings between now and then. So I'll be back to cover all the horrible bullshit that's going on. It'll be time to float before you know it. So go ahead and switch over to the after party right now. And the rest of you guys, I'll see you on Friday. Love you, dudes. Night, everybody. Time to float.
Time to float. You float down here.